Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Don DeZarn and I can still win this election, and that's something that I didn't put enough thought into yesterday, as I was feeling very cynical, and I apologize for throwing my cynicism on you, and I apologize to all of you who have been so supportive of what Don DeZarn and I have been doing, as I failed to appreciate you yesterday, and instead I talked about the money we don't have, and I talked about the people we don't have behind us. Well, I feel better today. I really do. And the truth of the matter is, we can still win this election. Now here's what I think, ladies and gentlemen. The Republican candidates that Don DeZarn and I are running against are essentially a non-factor, for several reasons. First of all, there are a lot of attack ads against Peter Inverso, Steve Cook, and Ronald Haas that the Republicans were running against. Here's three I just recently got in the mail, all talking about Peter Inverso's failure in running from a bank. I haven't received any attack ads against Linda Greenstein, Wayne DeAngelo, and Dan Benson, the Democrats. This leads me to think that the Republicans are extremely vulnerable. But it's not only that, ladies and gentlemen. The Republicans aren't even standing for the values that Republicans used to stand for. And they're not even particular in their attempt to try to sound like Republican candidates. As I've discussed with you before in the past. So I think that actually the Republican candidates are a non-factor. I think they're just playing the game for the next 5 weeks to do it, because they think that there have to be Republican candidates. I don't think they believe they can win. I really don't. The problem is the Democratic candidates. Now, clearly, the Democrats have more support right now. Now, to those of you who might be Democrats, I want to level with you here. The candidates, the Democratic candidates for New Jersey legislature, have refused, so far, to debate Don DeZarn and I. Now, in all fairness, Don DeZarn and I got on the ballot. We followed the rules. We got more than the required amount of signatures to get on the ballot. Do we not have the right, at least, to debate the Democratic candidates and the Republican candidates? I say we absolutely do, ladies and gentlemen. And I believe that the reason the Republicans and the Democrats don't want to debate Don and I is because they know that we'll expose how contradictory their policy proposals are. And that with those contradictions being exposed, we'll take votes away and probably win the election. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to pressure the Democrats and the Republicans, and we need to demand a fair debate. Now, there is still time. The election isn't here yet. We have until November to get a fair debate. And I need your help, and Don needs your help to get this done. But it can be done. And ladies and gentlemen, we can make history. We can make history by having independent candidates elected to the state legislature. And I want to briefly touch on one more thing that shows how vulnerable the Democrats are, even though they don't know it. In fact, there are two things, and I'll be very brief. Number one, property taxes. The biggest issue in the state of New Jersey, because we have the highest property taxes in the entire country. the Republicans and the Democrats actually agree on how to solve the problem. The bigger problem is that they don't actually offer a viable solution. Their solution is, and I've talked about this before, but it's got to be reiterated. They believe that tax credits, property tax credits, being offered to the people will solve the actual problem. No, it won't. In fact, let's talk about what a tax credit is. A tax credit doesn't change the actual tax rate, it changes the tax bill. So if you were somebody who is going to pay $15,000 in property taxes, but you got a tax credit, maybe you only pay $10,000. But then, what about all of that necessary revenue that was necessary to fund local government? Where is that going to come from? Interestingly, ladies and gentlemen, both the Democratic candidates and the Republicans have said to the media, we can't guarantee that this could be paid for. That's what they said. So why vote for people who tell you something that is no guarantee, when you can vote for people who say, look, got to freeze the rates, got to freeze the property tax rates. Let's actually address the rates and the cause of the rates, which is spending. So let's freeze the spending. And let's eliminate unfunded mandates that the state imposes on the local governments, on the county governments, and on the school boards. And let's abolish the Common Core State Standards Initiative, which is a set of educational standards that is driving our education costs so much and in such a complex manner that no cost analysis exists. And the Democrats aren't talking about this. Imagine if we had the opportunity to debate them in front of the people about these issues. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine. Ladies and gentlemen, we the people can still win this election. And I don't care if you live in the 14th Legislative District. Even if you don't, we could use your money. And we could use your support to do something good. I want to thank you so much for your time today, ladies and gentlemen. May God bless you.